Well, you look down that schedule. You look down it like we all did, and you said, well, where's it going to come from? Maybe it'll come against the Cowboys late. Maybe it'll come against the Giants. Where's it going to come? And none of you. We didn't either. Said it's going to be Monday night against the Commandos. But Tyler Heineke or Taylor Heineke or Hyler Taneke or can he be QB1 finally? And don't put Carson Wentz back in and screw this thing up. Taylor Heineke and the referees and the Commandos popped the cork last night. I don't even know if the Dolphins had the champagne on ice. I wonder if they even were together. And Bob Greasy and Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka and the boys had the champagne on ice. But you don't have an undefeated in the NFL anymore. And the invincible Eagles are vincible. 32-21 Commandos last night beat the Eagles and give them their first loss of the season. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. 'Tis your opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. How we all living today? You all right?
Great.
What's up?
Looks like the Encanto to me, man. I heard him. Okay, you didn't hear him?
No,
when he said what he pointed.
Just making sure.
He did the Usain Bolt and he said, "What's up?"
We have remote JJ. So.
All right, you didn't hear remote JJ?
No, but now I can hear him.
All right, I did. I'm going to assume America did too. All right.
I hope so.
Let me try that again. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to excel. Did you hear him that time?
Yeah.
I think Amory heard you. I don't know, dude. What'd you think last night? Did you watch that? Did you get any of that? Were you on the bus? How much did you get?
Oh, I got all of it.
Yeah.
I got all of that game. I got all the turnovers. I got all of Philadelphia's struggles in that contest. I got all the upset missed calls if you're an Eagles fan. But if you're Washington, heck of a game plan. The way they ran the football, ground and pound, time of possession, just took all the life out of that stadium, all the life out of that Eagles offense. And that's what we love about this league. Because you think you know, but you have no idea.
Yeah, we tell you that. We tell you that all the time. You don't know. Troy Aikman was telling you that last night as well. You just don't know. When you say all the missed calls, they missed the face mask. And that ended up in a turnover. And I was just talking to Stigler on the way in. He's like, I mean, should that be reviewable? I'm like, if the point is to get things right, like I'm tired. I'm over the whole let's review everything because I think we review too much sometimes. But if the point is to get it right, I mean, when something's blatant like that, I don't have a problem. Is there an argument that wasn't a face mask? Is there any argument at all whatsoever that on that turnover that's not a face mask? Any argument?
No.
It was
no.
fairly blatant one, right?
Yes.
And I'm not an advocate of let's get everything and let's just delay this game and make it 7 hours. But if the point is let's get it right, shouldn't that be something that is reviewable?
That feels like one of those sky ref calls that they talk about is having just a referee that's constantly watching the game be able to make that change in that call on the fly. But when you boil it all down,
yeah.
Washington won that game overall. Yeah, that was a missed call. It led to a turnover. And you look at the 4 turnovers for Philadelphia, you could say that one, all right, they missed it. But Quez Watkins' fumble was still an outright fumble, taking away a gigantic passing play in the game. The interception where Jalen Hurts threw it in double coverage somehow still almost got it to A.J. Brown. So there were 2 turnovers there that, regardless of calls or everything, were a problem.
To me, the Quez Watkins play was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts made a play, got it downfield. His receiver makes a catch, gets up, and doesn't tuck it away, and it gets knocked away. And that was the turnover late. That Washington got the ball back and salted away the game. What did you think of the last play of the game? The last big play of the game. So the Brandon Graham personal foul. Taylor Heineke goes back to throw, smartly takes a knee. Right? He doesn't want to throw it away. He doesn't want to stop the clock. He wants them to burn their last time out. Smartly takes a knee, gives himself up. And it is 2 beats later. He doesn't get popped. He gets run into, right? Brandon Graham comes in on his knees, kind of backing off, didn't level the quarterback, but did hit the quarterback. I guess by the rule it was the right call, but I struggle with it because I firmly believe, and we never know intent, right? And we talk about this all the time. What's the intent? You don't know. But I watched that play from all the angles they showed me, and a guy comes in on his knees. I mean, look, could he have laid him out? Yeah. He ran into a quarterback and then popped up and had a little party dance. I guess it's the right call.
It is. He gave himself up. It's the same thing when you talk about a wide receiver who makes a catch over the middle
Right.
and slides, plays over. Gave himself up. There's plenty of time. Even a defender that was coming around, chasing down the quarterback, to see that let up, slide a different direction. It was weak in a lot of people's eyes, but it was the right call. The referee was standing 5 feet away.
It was right there, and it was the head referee, and it was by the letter of the law. It is the right call, and there was about 2 beats in there, where he had, to your point, he had time to pull up and get off of him, and he didn't, and that's where that thing goes down. So we don't have it undefeated anymore, and this is going to be a conversation. People are going, well, I don't believe in the Eagles anymore. I don't believe. Okay. I was on TJ's show yesterday afternoon, and he says, what's wrong with the Bills, man? What's wrong with the Bills? Okay. My TJ. I'm working on my TJ.
That was really good.
Hey, so, all right. What's wrong with the Bills, man? Nothing, man. They lost the game. They lost to a good team. We're going to hear, what's wrong with the Eagles? They're not undefeated. I mean, what do you mean, what's wrong with the Eagles?
One loss.
Yeah, I think they're okay. Like, I'm not going to tell you this loss is ever a good thing, and the pressure was going to mount on this undefeated thing. So now they can go play football. They're still really good. They made some mistakes down the stretch like teams do. What happened last night? They turned the freaking ball over. And by the way, Washington ran it down their necks in the first half. Did you see the time of possession?
Yeah.
The game plan was keep it away from Jalen Hurts.
And that's what they did.
Run the ball with Gibson and Robinson. They did. Heinicke was good. He finally has found Terry McLaurin, who is a great weapon. I thought, can we give the Redskins a little credit on this win?
Yes. And their defense, too. And Brian Robinson, though, is a beast, man. Jeez. Strong.
That's a dude who got shot.
Oh, my
earlier.
God.
Yeah.
What a beast.
You buy that?
That game was all about the Commanders last night.
I think so,
It's
too.
NFC East. Woo!
They're 5-5,
Yeah.
which is unbelievable. The work that coaching staff, that roster is doing. This division game, it was not going to be a blowout. It was going to be a close game, but just to see how in control they were, I was wondering, was I watching the Commanders or the Air Force Falcons on Monday Night Football?
All right, are they going to screw this up and put in Carson Wentz now?
I hope not.
No.
I mean, they can't,
They
right?
can't.
Not after a
Winning.
game like that. Coming off beating Philadelphia, you can't.
Well, they just look so much better with Taylor Heinicke at quarterback than they do with Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
They look better. They're winning games. They just beat the Eagles. Like, I got it, man. You paid Carson Wentz, but haven't we seen enough?
Heineke's the dude that's always going to leave you wanting more, but when he's playing, you're like, hoorah, let's go. It's the underdog. We're all buying in, and the team follows the dude.
I mean, look, I'm not telling you he's a franchise quarterback, but when I look around the league and see what he's doing compared to Andy Dalton and Marcus Mediocre and some of the other Jacoby Brissett, whatever's going on in Indianapolis, whatever's going on in Denver right now, who's playing? I mean, would you put Taylor Heinicke above all of that I just gave you? You take Russell Wilson.
Yeah, because if you
Who's
put
playing better
him
this
in those situations, he's going to look worse.
Who's playing better this year?
Also, he's another backup quarterback, like a Cooper Rush. He just does his job and he does it well. He comes in as a backup, and I'm saying he can be. Maybe he's earned the starting position, obviously now, but I'm saying he's done a really good job at his role in Washington.
I think the number's 10-9 in his last 19 starts with a team that, nobody thinks, whoa, they're really
Injured.
good. Yeah, nobody's looked at them and said, oh yeah, that's a really good team, right?
Right.
All right, who would you want right now, him or Marcus Mediocre?
Heinicke.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think JJ's heard me since I started calling him that.
It's very funny. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Every time I just
Yeah,
laugh.
sorry. Now I think that's his name, by the way. All right, could you go down the street and make sure Jerry Kill's available?
Yes.
I was talking to Jerry since he's down
Oh, yeah.
in Las Cruces. Since
I was like,
you can
I
too,
can go on the phone.
but I'm thinking he might be right down the
Well,
street
if you
from
see
him.
Jerry Kill, tell him hi.
You got that? When we come back, Jerry Kill due to be with us, the head coach of New Mexico State's football team. JJ, you're in a town of a football team that's won 3 in a row. How does it feel? Feel any different? JJ's in Las Cruces for the Lobo Aggie women's basketball game today.
Can't say they're throwing any parades yet.
They haven't yet? All right, if they beat Missouri this weekend, and then they go in their last game against Liberty and going, hey, if we beat Liberty, 19th ranked Liberty, we could be eligible. I'm just saying. I mean, you're telling
then
me
that might be parade worthy.
Look, I got my charts yesterday, and there's teams that have already clinched bowl eligibility in one color, and teams that are not bowl eligible in another color, and then there's the teams in white that are still trying to get to bowl eligible. Just white paper, not outlined, not highlighted, and New Mexico State's still in that unhighlighted column section. I'm just saying, it's been a long time since I got those charts in November. Mid-November, New Mexico State was not highlighted in the wah category. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that means. All right, that's what we're doing. 7:15, which is coming up next. Jerry Kill scheduled to be with us. The number is 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com, on the Twitter _JJ Buck. Facebook, you can watch the show. Adrian's producing there on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Aggie football next. They've won 3 in a row, going back to the SEC, and see how that works out. Jerry Kill when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke.
One of the SEC, not back. They haven't been there this year. Aggies have won 3 in a row. Let me tell you this again. The Aggies have won 3 in a row. Their defense is ranked 35th overall in FBS. They beat Lamar 51-14 last week. Andre Selden started off with a 19-yard interception return just about a minute into the game. Aggies never looked back. They led 37-0 at halftime. Diego Pavia threw for a couple of touchdowns. Jamani Jones had a couple of short scoring runs. Aggies have won 3 in a row. They have 4 wins on the season, or 4 and 5, and headed to Missouri this weekend to take on the Tigers. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck joining us now on the 377 Brewery Hotline. The head football coach at New Mexico State, Jerry Kill. Good morning, Jerry. How you living?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. 3 in a row down there's got to feel good. It's been a minute since that's happened. Starting to feel like a football town down there yet?
Well, you know, people have been great and got a good turnouts and you know, the people have been great, and you know, they're helping our football team win right now because, you know, the more people in the stands, the more enthusiastic we played, and you know, we've really played hard football, you know, since the wake up deal at Florida International when we didn't play very well at all, and I said that ain't gonna happen again, to play, you know, with no energy, and so it hasn't happened, and the kids have listened and played hard, and not always well, but we played very, very hard.
You know, we looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season, and you and I talked about it, about how it's going to be a tough start, and then there's a part of the schedule where you're going to find out who you are. And now you've won 3 in a row. You've won 4 out of your last 5 games. Does your team have a little different feel? I'm not telling you're going to go in there and beat the hell out of Missouri, but do they have a different feel about themselves going into Missouri than maybe they did when they went to Minnesota and Wisconsin early in the season?
Well, I think, you know, they should. I mean, I think they certainly have gained some confidence. And, you know, you know, winning solves that a little bit. But, yeah, I'm going in with a different approach. I expect our players to go in with a different approach. You know, they're a Southeast Conference team. They're going to be, you know, they're not going to be there in Minnesota and Wisconsin, except they're going to be more of, you know, they'll have more speed. You know, they'll be more athletic than those 2 schools in a different style of football. But, you know, it'll be very loaded in skill positions, et cetera. But, you know, we got to go in there and you know, play like we've been playing. And as long as we do that, I can live with it. And, you know, but we need to play hard, a lot of enthusiasm, and go in there and forget who's the sticker on the guy's strong helmet and just go play.
Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's football coach. Aggies win 3 in a row. They're on their way to Missouri this weekend.
And Jerry, you mentioned the team responding, the quick start, especially on Saturday. Defense goes out there and gets you a touchdown. What's been the key for having that energy early, but especially a game like Saturday, not letting up and then continuing that throughout the entire game?
Well, I think they listened to the message before. I said, if you're going to be a good, solid football team, you gotta take every game like it's a Super Bowl. You can't take the stickers off the side of the helmet. You got to go play. And I think the 2-week layover, it can be bad or good. In this case, I think they were so hungry to play that, the choice to play with enthusiasm, play hard, all those things that we talk about, they went out and did it. And instead of being, kind of stalemated or whatever through the so our coaches did a good job of getting them ready. And, the first half, I thought we really played well.
And Jerry, you mentioned those multiple weeks that you've had off this season, and it could have been something that your team let down a little bit. What was the key to maximize that time where you didn't have the focus on practice?
I think the big thing is how we practice. The week off, we had a lot of guys recruiting. We had 2 or 3 of us back from practice, and I think how we handled practice, it wasn't long. We did work against each other and keep the speed of what I call game speed against each other somewhat, but we didn't go very long, maybe an hour and 15 minutes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then let them off, and then come back and had a Sunday practice, which was, a regular, hard practice that we'd usually have on Tuesday. We had it on Sunday. And then we, as the week went down, we cut down time that we're practicing. And I thought we had a pretty fresh team going in.
Jerry, look at your defense, and they're ranked overall 35th, I think 35th in the country from 100, whatever it was last year. And I don't care who you're playing right now. You're getting better. These are teams that were beating New Mexico State in the past. Talk about the progression on defense and what you think the difference has been.
Well, I think if you look anywhere I've been and what I've done in my past and building programs, I've always done it on defense. And so this is no different. And we're going to be good on defense around here and whatever we need to do. And, we're playing some freshmen. We're playing a lot of different kids. And, we keep fresh bodies in the game. And I think Nate's done a heck of a job of teaching the scheme. And again, our kids are playing hard. I think Ojo's playing at the highest level he's ever played. And I think they like playing for our defensive staff, to be honest with you. I mean, they really bought into what we're doing.
So, was there a moment you felt it clicked? Like when I look back at it, right? You didn't play poorly in the Nevada game. You were right there in the UTEP game. You lose both of those, and then you've won 4 of your last 5. Is there a difference? When did it? I don't know. Come in focus for your kids. Was there a moment?
I think they really played pretty solid all year, except for the 2 big Power 5 teams. Really, you take the 2 Power 5 teams out of there, I think we're only giving up about 16 points a game.
Yeah.
And, so you take those 2 teams out of there, and, we play pretty solid defense most of the time with a bunch of young kids.
A few more minutes. Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's football coach, is with us this morning on the opening drive.
Hey, Jerry, look at a game like Saturday against Lamar. How important was it to be able to have that many live game reps, get multiple players in a contest throughout it?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do first of the year, so you know what you have. So, it was important. They needed to play and got a chance to look at a lot of people, and that's fun. I just wish we'd done it at the beginning of the year instead of the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the way the schedule comes out. All right, speaking of schedule, and I know there was a lot of talk about finding an opponent to fill that San Jose State vacancy. Now it looks like San Jose State probably isn't going to play in their conference championship. Are we looking? Is that game coming back? Do you have any idea yet?
I don't think so, but I don't have it. I know we'll have somebody here by the end of the week.
So you think there will be a game?
So there will be a game. There's no doubt there'll be a game.
Okay. Now, San Jose State loses to San Diego State over the weekend. So they've lost to the two teams in front of them in the standings, and they're a game back. So I guess if Fresno State wins this weekend, they clinch their spot in the championship game, and so San Jose State would be available, or you could play someone else. So I don't know, Jared. Do you allow yourself to even think bowl eligibility? You're at 4. If you have 3 games left, if you can steal one of these 2, and then whatever it is you're going to schedule, do you allow yourself and your kids to think that, or is that something you're not even talking about?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that right now. We got 2 teams. You got you got Missouri.
Liberty might as well be.
Yeah, Missouri played South. They played Georgia. Went in. Shoot, they were ahead of Georgia. So I mean, they're a different breed of team that we're going to play. And Liberty, got upset last week by UConn. So I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. And there's rumor that there's not going to be enough teams that have won 6.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen? That's why we need that extra game. And, there's a lot of things that can happen there, also. So, I mean, it's one of those things you really just concentrate on who you're playing and make sure you do a good job of playing hard and well and see what happens.
Diego, your quarterback, starting quarterback this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Jerry, appreciate you. Safe travels back to Missouri. Continue it. Enjoy the 3-game win streak. It's something they haven't had down there in a minute. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right. Thanks.
Be well. Jerry Kill, the head football coach at New Mexico State, joins us this morning on the 377 Brewery Hotline. It's our new hotline sponsor. JJ, their defense has played well. He's not wrong. In fact, in the last 4 games, they're giving up 14.5 points a game. You give up 14.5 points a game, most of the time you're going to win, right? They gave 14 last week, 13 to UMass, 9 to New Mexico, 21 to Florida International, 26. I mean, and Hawaii, that was whatever. Those were garbage time points. His defense is playing well, and I know the next thing is, well, yeah, but who are they played? And my answer is, JJ, teams that were beating them in the past. That's who they're playing.
The step forward is beating teams that you feel you should be better than. And New Mexico State, in less than 1 year, has gotten to that point already. And that is the first step in rebuilding a program.
Yeah. I don't know that you could sit here and say that you thought New Mexico State was better than anybody, right? Was there a game last year where you went into it and said, well, you should be better than them, you should beat them? Was there one game that you thought that last year? Except for maybe the FCS game? Right? There wasn't one.
That's about it.
Now all of a sudden you go, well, hey, and you thought that against FIU and you got bit. Boy, how big is that now? Because if they reschedule and whatever it is they're going to schedule, he said he did say there is going to be a game on that December 3rd day, right? So they're going to get something. How big was that FIU game now, right?
Well, if it's an FCS opponent, do they only count as one win?
It doesn't count, but if there's, I think it's projecting the system needs 82 teams. And I counted up yesterday, it could project to 81, but anything can happen, right? I mean, and then I think the next, they go back and before they go to 5 and 7 teams, they are, is there any 6 and 6s that have 2 FCS wins? And that would get you in. All right, you can respond to what Jerry had to say. 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Want to get into the NFL game last night. We got NFL stuff to talk about, big injuries around the league. Hot Stove League is moving. We got NBA stuff going. And JJ's and Cruces. Lobos play SMU on the men's side tonight. Big game for the men. Lobo women play New Mexico State tonight. Big game for the women. So it's all on the table for you right here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For over 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your...
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they have today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Got into him today and help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks a tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling. Stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, he actually went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Flyers score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6 Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line is where this one we start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it. He's
just asked me, do you think they can beat New Missouri? I mean, I don't. Like, I don't think anything's impossible. I give them a way better shot against Missouri than I did against Wisconsin or Minnesota. Why? I believe in the mental part of the game, and I think they probably believe in themselves a little bit more now. JJ, when I looked at this one, I thought late in the season, going to Missouri, they could be, in a really tough place, banged up, downtrodden. And I look at it, and I think it's totally different. Now, I don't think they're going to beat Missouri. I just think Missouri. I watched Missouri against Georgia. That's the one time I've really watched Missouri, and I know Missouri's still got their season on the line, and Missouri's got to win both of their games to get bowl eligible. And look, they're not going to be easy. Missouri is 4-6, and they got New Mexico State and Arkansas left. They lost to Tennessee last week. They got pumped. They lost to a good Kentucky team and were competitive. They beat South Carolina the week before. Like this is a competitive team in the SEC. But I expect a little bit of a better performance. Now, does that mean they lose by 30? It might. This is one of those games, but I don't know. I feel a little different about them than I did going to Minnesota and Wisconsin.
You can feel different. And still not expect them to beat Missouri.
Kind of what I'm saying.
Like, they're not what you just laid out. They're a team that they're confident. They've had some success. They're believing in themselves. They're not going in like, oh man, we just lost 3 in a row. Are we going to be able to survive this contest? So that is correct. There's a different feeling about it, but I still don't think that they're going to go out there and beat Missouri.
Right. I think that's where we are. And then let me just tell you that Liberty team they play the next week is almost as good. Like, that's a really...
Like, Liberty is a good football team. And by the way, you know who's actually a good football team this year? UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps beating all these teams.
That's a bowl team, by the way. UConn's going bowling. How about what Jim Moore has done with UConn? Remember when they beat Fresno State? And I felt bad when Terry Toomey, Fresno State's athletic director, they were in town. I was talking to him at halftime, and I said, that's the one that kind of stunned me. And he kind of looked at me. He's like, you got to bring that up, right? I mean, you really got to bring that up. I'm like, sorry, man. I mean, I'm not looking to kill you, but that was the one where I'm like, what happened? But obviously, they're not that bad. I mean, UConn has beaten Boston College. They beat Fresno State. Fresno State may play for the Mountain West Championship, and I believe they're going to. They beat that FIU team, UMass, and then the big one, beating Liberty, is insane. It is insane. All right, so Aggie fan, come on in, and you can get in on what you heard. They got better this year, JJ. That program took a step and got better, right? And I don't know what you wanted as an Aggie fan this year, what you expected coming off of last year. I don't know what it is when you looked at that schedule and thought we can win X number of games but when we sit here in August, you and I, and we talk about what do you expect to see from these two programs? This year, I think we expected to see them both get better. Well, New Mexico State got better. I don't think it's arguable. They got more competitive. Defensively, they are exponentially better. We'll see. I think they're still going to make a lot of changes in the offseason, but he's got some playmakers, some guys who can get to the outside and make plays. He's got a quarterback who's doing enough to win games. And that program, that team, New Mexico State got better this year.
Yeah, New Mexico State is further along in their process than the Lobos are at this point in time. And that's the frustrating thing about it. And if you're looking at New Mexico State, you got to feel like, all right, we've got the coaching staff right. They believe that they're even going to be able to bring in better talent moving forward for this team. And you have to be ecstatic if you're an Aggie fan, because this is so much better than you expected in year one.
No, I think that's right. And you got to be loving your coach. You got to be loving the hire that your AD made. Like Anne Marie said, I mean, she loves Jerry Kill, right? You love you some Jerry Kill.
Big fan.
Tell you what, if they win 5 games, JJ, let's say they lose these next 2, and I don't know what they're going to schedule for December 3rd, even if it's San Jose State, right? I mean, now San Jose State doesn't look unbeatable. If they get out of this 5-7, hell, if they're 4-8, he did a hell of a job this year, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job. All right, 505-246-0610. Bruce says you need music for that. It says the OD production department's dropped the ball that we don't have theme music for the Jerry Kill conversation.
I will work on that.
I don't know if we're dropping the ball.
I don't think we are.
Yeah, I don't know. Dan says, is Juan Jose State dodging the mighty NMSU Aggies? Jeffrey Yanamaria. So is San Jose State dodging them? I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on with those conversations with San Jose State. The issue with, if you recall, the San Jose State game was postponed because one of their players was killed in a bike. He was on a scooter, right? It was a scooter, JJ, and he got hit by a bus. And then it was, they're probably going to play in the league championship game, so you can't play on December 3rd. Well, they're probably not playing in the league championship game now. And so can they play on December 3rd? There's a good chance they play in an early bowl game because they are bowl eligible. There is a chance they play in a December 16th, 17th bowl game. And so would they want to play that? I think that's a big part of it. And so they probably want their bowl assignment or want to know what's going on. But all that's there. All right, we're going to, if you want to talk about that, we can. I want to get into the hoops tonight. You got a good one tonight. What do you got with the Lobos and Aggies, the ladies tonight? What's going on? It's the first matchup between Jody, their new coach down there, and Mike Bradbury. So it'll be a new style for New Mexico's women to see. What do the Aggies look like?
The Aggies, that's the big thing because they had such a dramatic swing. Game 1, they go up to Colorado, lose by 30, and then they come home and just destroy New Mexico Highlands. So, a gigantic swing between games 1 and 2, and you're still trying to figure out, all right, who is this team? It's going to look a little bit different. The style of play is something that, you have to go back. All right, let's go look at Wichita State film. What did Jody Adams do there? But they're excited. I talked with Jody Adams yesterday. That's a conversation you'll hear in the pregame show today.
Right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Yes, pregame starts at 5:30. About just getting some new life in this rivalry because it's been all Lobos. They're 9-1 the last 10 games, and so the Aggies just looking for a spark in the Lobos themselves. They've won a game that was a complete 180 from anything you think about Mike Bradbury basketball, this Lobo team, what they did against Houston on Saturday, and they still haven't clicked offensively. So it's going to be interesting to see who can bring that energy early in this game.
For Lobo women's basketball, JJ, and you were with them in St. George, Utah. Is that right, St. George? When they lost to
Cedar City.
Sorry, St. George's. It was Utah Tech.
They're close.
Yeah.
You go through St. George to get there.
Did you? All right. When they lost to Southern Utah in Cedar City, your background looked very similar to this, just a little different colored walls of that hotel. And then you saw them. So they lose to Southern Utah, and Lobo fan was just like, what happened? What the hell went down? And then they come back and beat a really good Houston team in a game that they mucked it up, and it was sloppier, and that's kind of who they're going to be. So who are the Lobos?
I think they're still trying to figure that out because they're going to have to be more that team you saw Saturday against Houston than a team in the past because they're not as deep when it comes to shooting. The Duff Sisters have started the season off really cold, and then outside of that, like who's going to step up and hit threes? Paulo Reyes has struggled through 2 games. So they have to be more aggressive. They have to attack. They have to get to the free throw line because they don't have the depth offensively as they did in the past. Antonio Anderson, Jaden De La Cerda were so good. Just constant shooters, not in and not out, bringing it offensively. And with them out of the lineup, it's got to look different. And we'll see if this team can keep up that style because that was a complete 180. They were much more aggressive. Like they were ready for that Houston game. Southern Utah, they were kind of like, man, there's a 6'5" post, a 6'3" post. We really don't know what to do. The shots are not falling. How do we respond?
Sounds like the last game of your year last year against Oregon State, doesn't it?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. All right, JJ will have that call. It's a 6 o'clock tip down at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces. Lobos and Aggies women tonight at 6 o'clock. 5:30 pregame show right here on 95.9 FM. An AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Lobo women's basketball. Also tonight, Lobo men on the road. They'll be on ESPN Plus, but also over on News Radio KQB. When we come back, I want to get into that a little bit because it's a big one. This is JJ. Don't you think one of those on the schedule, one of the non-conference games that people highlighted a little bit because, well, I don't know, it was a name they knew, so this must be the best team on the schedule, right? It's New Mexico State, it's SMU, it's Iona, it's St. Mary's. This is one of those, and this.
Well, it's also a team that beat you 90.
I want to get into the Lobos
72.
and SMU on the men's side when we return. Cybersecurity is a real problem, you know that. Good news is more and more businesses are taking that seriously, and ABQ IT wants you to know they've got your back. ABQ IT provides state-of-the-art cybersecurity to protect your entire operation. And I know you remember the attacks, cyber attacks in Bernalillo County on APS, paralyzed them for days, cost them a lot of money. Don't let it happen to your business, and don't be naive thinking it won't happen to you. Your computer systems are vital to the success of your business. If they don't work well, productivity grinds to a halt, and there's a lot that can go wrong. Network servers, remote access, hackers, you got to worry about it all. And you, as a business owner, you don't have time to be a computer technician. That's why ABQ IT is a name you've got to know. You just want to know 3 things, right? Your system works, it's secure, what is it going to cost? Well, ABQ IT has a business model with you in mind. They monitor your computers and network, keep them operating smoothly, and best of all, they do it at one predictable cost. ABQ IT handles it all. No different providers for your internet, for your cybersecurity, and then when you buy new computers. One company, one affordable cost. Get a free assessment and see what ABQIT can do for your business. Visit abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com. No more worrying about your computer systems when you do business with ABQIT.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Sports Animal. Lobo Hoops tonight. Men over on News Radio KKOB, 6 o'clock start, 5:30 pregame show there at SMU. SMU is 1-1 on the season. They beat Texas A&M Commerce and then lost to Dayton, 24th ranked team in the country. And then right here on the Sports Animal about women. 6 o'clock, 5:30 pregame show. J.J. Buck will have the call from the Pan Am Center. Aggies and Lobos as the Lobos look to go to 2-1 on the season. 505-246-0610. We go now to the 377 Brewery Hotline. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. Hey, Jeff, I'm going to have you play athletic director this morning.
Okay.
Have you been following the continued fallout from the Michigan State game? Michigan State debacle?
I mean, I know what happened, but I've not. I can't say I've been following it. No.
So now two sideline workers who are on the Michigan State sideline have come forward and sent letters to the Big Ten with their names signed to it, saying that Mel Tucker and his staff were encouraging the Michigan State players to try to purposely injure Blake Corum.
Let me back this up for people who don't know what we're talking about. So Michigan plays Michigan State. They play at the Big House in Michigan at Ann Arbor. There's one tunnel. Both teams go through it. As Michigan State was in the tunnel after the game, after Michigan beat Michigan State, there was a player. What was his name? Blake Corum. Is that what you said?
No, during the game. Now it's coming out that during the game, the coaches were encouraging the players to break Blake Corum's kneecaps and end his career.
It's a problem.
Now, it's two independent, not associated with Michigan. They're employed by Michigan to work the sideline.
Yeah.
And they've come forward and sent these letters to the Big Ten. If you're athletic director and you find out about this, what do you do with Mel Tucker?
Well, I want to know whether it's true. I mean, right? You bring him in and you need to hear what he says about it. I want to know what it's true. You think that's fireable or is that suspendable?
I mean, in light of what happened yesterday at the University of Virginia, you start wondering what's going on.
I think they're two separate. They're really separate.
It's a game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my heart goes out to what happened at Virginia. That's just that's awful.
Unbelievable.
I don't even know how you wrap your head around that.
You don't.
So something has to change if this continues. I mean, players, I know you want to win, but encouraging somebody to deliberately injure another player, an opponent, to me, that's not sportsmanlike at all.
Yeah. No,
and there has to be some,
I had not heard that. That's
consequence.
Yeah, if that's true. I don't know that I fire him because I got a lot of money invested into him.
Yeah.
But if in fact the coach was encouraging to go out and injure, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yep, real problem. So I'm going to follow that, and I'll keep you posted on that. And it was John Bacon, who's the historian for Michigan, that has a blog, and the letters got submitted to him, and he posted them on his blog so people could see what was actually written. So it continues, and we gotta stop that kind of behavior.
No doubt.
I don't know what encourages that or who would encourage that, but I'm just really disappointed. Tonight, we're going to find out how good UNM really is because they're going to go down there, and of course, New Mexico State wants to beat us. And I don't know about SMU. I mean, new coach, new players, right?
Yep.
So we'll see. I think UNM has the goods, and that would make for a nice setup for Saturday if they can get past SMU and be undefeated and then have New Mexico State at home on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one tonight. All right. Enjoy it tonight, and we'll talk to you later. All right, see you. I had not heard that. JJ, had you heard that?
No.
Yeah, that part I'd not heard. All right. Lobos men on the road at SMU. SMU's 1-1. You worried about Lobo defense at all? I'm reading all of Grammer's stuff with defensive efficiency numbers and rankings and 250 this and 1.25 points per possession and all the analytics stuff. I know what I saw, and I know that in 2 games they've been in battles with decent teams, not great teams, not bad teams, decent teams, probably teams very much like them. Are you worried about their defense both on the perimeter and in the interior?
I wouldn't say I'm worried. I'm not expecting that to be a strength of this team. They're going to be an offensive dominated team. That's where their strengths are. I'd be more looking at in crucial moments, can they make a stop? If it's a close game, they're going to play more high scoring games throughout this season because of the way they're constructed, their style of play. So I'd be more looking at moments, overall rebounding totals, ending defensive possession when a team misses a shot, as opposed to thinking this is going to be a really good defensive team this year.
So I think of the teams that have had consistent success in the Mountain West Conference over the last decade and a half. Okay, and there's 2 groups that come to mind. Is that fair? You think of the same way I am? Obviously, San Diego State's group with Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher. And I'll go back to the Steve Alford New Mexico teams. And I think that those teams were really good defensively. I think that those teams, all of those groups, and there's not like one specific team, right? That was programs. They make you work for 40 minutes. You have to grind up and down the floor. They guard you all night long. And so the sustained success for programs in this league over the decade and a half have been two programs. Am I missing someone? I mean, there's been good teams. Leon Rice has had nice teams, but I think the two most successful programs, right, would be Alfred's New Mexico groups and then what's going on in San Diego State. Is that right?
Yeah, there were games where the final score is 42-38.
Right.
Between those programs.
I don't love watching that either, by the way. But what I'm telling you is the sustained success in this league, teams have played defense. And kind of defense first. Now, some of those teams were offensively deficient.
That is true.
But they won. So where's the fine line there? Where's the medium? All right, top of the hour, 505-246-0610. The hotline sponsored by 377 Brewery, named for the flight wing at Kirtland Air Force Base. It's at the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. It's a great location for before or after Lobo games on the way or headed to the Sunport. 377 Brewery, 505-246-0610. Thanks for remembering you listened this morning to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Cincinnati Bengals last night, a division contest, a team that is well coached. Look at the record. Does anyone think the Commanders should be 5-5 on this season with everything that they've gone through? Not at all. So this is never going to be a cakewalk in the NFL. There's games you can have a lot of confidence in. I actually think that this game was lower on the confidence meter if you're just taking a step back and looking at the big picture of how this league plays out. And it was a game plan that was executed fantastically from Washington. I know there's a lot of focus on what happened in the game when Heineke kneeled down, got hit, the missed face mask on a Dallas Goedert fumble. But up until that point, Washington was outplaying Philadelphia in that game.
I don't think there's an argument there. I mean, time of possession, they took care of the football, all of that stuff. 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. Good morning, Lenny.
Good morning. Well, I'm just going to give up on the Chargers season.
Why?
They just don't have enough offensive firepower.
They had at some point they're going to get receivers back, right? Their top 2 receivers.
At some point they're going to get receivers back, but
Maybe
until
not
they
Keenan
do,
Allen.
do they have enough to win those games out?
No, I mean I don't know. Keenan Allen ever got
and
played?
is Herbert's rib cage injury still a factor in his throwing ability?
I think it is.
So, I mean, the division everyone hyped up at the beginning of the season is the division that isn't.
Yep, I agree with that.
You know, so we'll see. But you see how teams could win. Now, is there now a quarterback coach controversy now with Arizona because of Colt McCoy?
No.
But,
Any more than there was with
the season.
Rush.
No, he just won a game just like Cooper Kupp or Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
You know, Murray's your quarterback.
That's right.
You're not paying them that much money to sit on the bench.
It's not even a conversation. They beat a bad football team in the Rams, and their backup went and won a game. I mean, I don't even think that's a conversation.
And then how many times have you seen a team go to the Super Bowl, win, and then the next year stink up
Not very
schedule,
often.
the whole season?
Not very often. When was the last time it happened like this? I mean, the Rams are horrible.
I know. I think you see Stafford doing more commercials and looking good than playing as a quarterback.
100%. 100%. And by the way, his
And
AT&T commercial is way better than LeBron's.
Right. But yeah. And then the surprise still to me is the Giants and Daniel Jones.
Sure.
the Jets even, and then to a lesser extent, Geno Smith, and this comes down again to coaching. So as bad as he was with the Jets, and I didn't like him there, a good coach can take an average player and make him better in the right system. But is he worth, even if they make a playoffs, is he worth a long-term contract of even 3 or 4 years at 32, 33 years old?
No, and the thing is, nobody's going to give it to him, and so he's
No,
not going to.
Seattle said they're looking at doing that.
What's long term?
If
2
he
years?
makes the playoffs, long-term 3 or 4 years.
I can look at 3 years. What are you saying? 30-something million? I
A
mean,
year?
that's a bargain right now, isn't it?
It's a bargain, but is he worth 30-something million a year just off of one good season for any player? I'm not disrespecting Geno Smith, but past performance is indicative of future performance. Is 1 year an aberration, or is he going to be good?
How much of a sample size does one need? And I don't know the answer to know that he got better and that has earned that. Like, give me a quarterback. I'm trying to think of JJ. You got one that was average and then got another chance. And I mean, is it Tannehill? Is that what you're kind of looking at as a
Tannehill would probably be an example because after he got the chance the second time, how many good years did he put together?
He put about 4 good years together and got him to the number 1 seed. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's impressive for a quarterback who was terrible in
On a
Miami.
scrap heap. Yeah.
And they basically ran him out of town.
Yeah. So it can't happen.
How many other quarterbacks get a second chance?
No, it does, and
but
plenty.
They're really just a second stringer. A Colt McCoy and
Marcus
all of
Mediocre.
those others.
No, look at Marcus Mediocre. Look at Trubisky. A lot of those guys, they just got their second chance this year.
Yeah, and how long did they last?
Well, Trubisky.
Even how long
lasted
did Matt
4
Ryan's
games.
chance last?
Well, he's back in. He just won a game this week.
And then I got to congratulate Jeff Saturday, who goes from being a high school football coach, that's his highest level, to winning a game and looking better as a coach than Josh McDaniel.
Ooh, damn.
You got to admit, Josh McDaniel, 3 games at 17-point leads, blowing them more than any other Raider coaches combined.
No doubt.
This is an example of an offensive or defensive coordinator becomes a head coach, but they don't have the mindset to be a head coach. Something just doesn't click in where they can make that adjustment to be at the top.
All right.
And they're just better at it as a coordinator.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, I've got to move, but I've got a thought on.
And then last thing, just for the Lakers, I feel very good for you. I'm glad LeBron ruined your team. And if you get the number 1 pick next year, Wembanyama will be a pick swap with the Pelicans.
That's right. The Lakers
for the Anthony Davis
Yeah,
trade.
Lakers don't even have their pick. Yeah. All right, man. Enjoy.
All right.
Can I give you? I was thinking about this yesterday, JJ. The Jeff Saturday thing, and I got Grady's email, and I understand that there is a hierarchy and there is a way to become a coach. You guys both are in this business, right? Hey, Marie, JJ?
Yes.
All right. You've watched people work their way up this business, right?
Yes.
How many of those talking, screaming heads on television, JJ, who were telling you that Jeff Saturday, and look, I'm not telling you that what the Indianapolis Colts did is right, okay? Let me preface this.
I like where this is going.
I'm not telling you what they did is the right thing. Now, it may work. I told you last week, I'm not certain he'll be a good coach or bad. I have no idea. I understand why people are upset, okay? That there's guys who grind it every day, and there were guys on that side. I understand that. How many of these guys who are on your TV screaming at you how horrible it was, or even Bill Cowher, who had a really good argument, worked their way up the ranks in TV or were handed a job? How many people do you know are working their ways through Greensboro, North Carolina, or Yakima, Washington, or Back City, Arkansas, or Flint, Michigan, working in small markets, working their way up the ranks in television, working their backsides off with cameras on their shoulders, shooting high school girls soccer and running back to the set and editing it and running it and putting their makeup on and getting on TV. This business is full of them. How many of those guys? Oh, none of them did that. None of them did that.
None
grind.
of them.
They all came off of a field.
That's not an apples to apples comparison at all.
It is
'Cause
a business.
You're not hiring an analyst. You're not, hey, I'm joined on the broadcast by camera guy X from Arkansas to break down the gameplay.
It's not camera guy X. It's
no.
a guy who worked their way up in the business. They jumped everybody, which is fine. That's the way it is.
Because that's an analyst role.
So no analysts have to learn how to be it. They come
just
right
become
out of
one?
right out of
they don't have to
football
go
and they
through
get thrown in
school
there.
or
Which is,
anything?
by the way,
No.
the answer.
Did Troy Aikman go to school for that?
None of them did. No, my point is, none of them. Troy Aikman, none of them did. None of them worked their way in that business. They got a hell of a break because they had a big name, and they got an audition. And look, that's the way that works. But none of them worked their way up in that business.
Yeah, it's not apples to apples at all.
Any hypocrisy there at all?
No, because this is one where there's kind of set roles in this. There, and you shake your head all you want at this. This is nepotism in the season. He's getting away with it because it's an interim head coaching job. This would never fly if this was the off season. There's a reason they had to put Rooney rules in place. There's a reason things have to be like this in a workplace. He got away with it because it's interim.
Yeah.
They're a bad football team. And he was able to hire his buddy. But there's nothing okay with this.
Right. So it would have been okay. I got to be careful.
Yeah.
I know. Interim coaches, you're hiring midstream. You don't have time to go through the Rooney Rule, and that's why this is there, right? You fire a coach on a Monday, you need a coach for that week. That's why you can't have the Rooney Rule. I understand that. And if he hires Jeff Saturday full time, they got to go through the Rooney Rule. Like, to me, this isn't a Rooney Rule conversation. This is guys who were handed pretty high profile jobs that didn't grind for those jobs, that are screaming about a guy who didn't
grinded
grind
other
for a
ways.
job. Right. Well, they did, and he
No,
grinded his
I'm
way.
agreeing with you, by the way.
He grinded his way. I just look. Is it apples to apples? It's not exact apples to apples, but it's business to business. It's position to position. It was all these guys who Robert Griffin III. What did he do to get that job? What did Booger? Any of these guys who, and I don't know, I don't remember exactly who was screaming it, but it was all the guys who were ex-athletes that they didn't grind to get a TV job. They jumped right into a plush spot, and so did Jeff Saturday. And look, I don't think it's okay the way it all went down. I don't. But I don't know. I know the Rooney Rule, the minority coach rule is like the big issue. Well, it was a white guy, and so it was the coach's friend. He's a white guy, so why did he get? He wasn't there. Gus Bradley could have got the job. John Fox could have got the job, and it would have been okay. Look, to me, there is a comparison, and whether you see it or not, I'm cool with that. I don't care. I agree with you. It's not apples to apples, but it is business to business, and it's a bunch of guys who they didn't grind for these high profile, high paying jobs. None of them did. Well, there's guys grinding in all these small markets, and they get in these positions, and then all of a sudden it's easy to just jump on a guy who. What did Jeff Saturday do? He was friends with the guy. He had a conversation, and he accepted the opportunity.
Everyone agrees they would have done what Jeff Saturday did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Like, no one was running from that. But this is still, there's a reason that you can get away with this being an interim, not going through the things. You hire your buddy, you're mid-season. But overall, there's a reason all those other things are in place.
What did they
and by the way, we don't ask, like, when you're talking about analyst roles, like, they're built for those people, though. You don't have to grind to be.
Right, but my point is they all were kind of
What
given.
if Jeff is built for this, though?
Yeah, but I'm not, because
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
he
Jeff.
made it really good.
Symbiota.
Let me ask you this. God, you just said something, and you said he got away. What did he get away with? You keep saying he got away with it. He got away with it. What did he get away with? Hiring his buddy? Is that what it is? He could have done that, gone through the whole Rooney Rule process, and still.
Yeah, he absolutely could have.
Do that.
And we've seen that, right? That's the world. Look at coaching staffs, everyone.
Yeah.
We've all benefited from this, by the way. I'm not ignoring that fact. In life, there's connections, there's networking. You hire people you like. But people being upset about this, it's fair to question it, because this is why you get to positions where people get frustrated, but why there has to be Rooney Rules, why there has to be things in workplaces because of situations like this.
I understand that in the long term. I just don't know what he got away with in the short term. He had to hire someone. Somebody had to be hired that day to run that team. And I
think this is
I'm on
fast, like weirdly awesome that Jeff Saturday just won a game on Sunday.
It's weirdly awesome. That's a really good way to put it. I by the way, Amory, I'm on the train that there's guys in that room that earned that. Okay, whether it's Reggie Wayne or John Fox or Gus Bradley or whoever was like, I get that, okay, but the man owns the team. The man gets to do what he wants to do. Now, I guess I'm struggling with. He got away with something. He brought in another guy. He could have done that in whenever. He could have hired this guy if that's who he wanted to hire. Is it awkward? Is it weird? Is it unconventional? Is it unorthodox? Is it different? Is it all those things everybody's saying? Yeah, but this whole, those guys are grinding from guys who were handed plush, high-paying jobs. I struggle a little bit with the everybody's got to grind thing. Well, but except for you guys who are, and look, some of them are good at what they do.
Even NFL coaches, whether you're a wide receiver coach, a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, you knew someone. That's a hard job to get as well.
Yeah, everybody got it because of relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. If you're on the phone, I'm going to get to you when we get back. 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery Hotline. 505-246-0610. Who watches your home? IPS watches my home when I'm there, when I'm not there, when I go away. International Protective Service is affordable, private security that's watching homes and businesses, keeping them safe and keeping the bad guys away, and they've been doing it for 16 plus years. Started in Fort Hills, and now all these years later, Aaron Jones's company has grown into a wonderful, respected, good company to keep bad guys away, keep you protected, and protect what's important to you, what you've worked so hard to build, and that's your business, and more so your family and your home. Aaron's passionate about making Albuquerque a safer place to live and work by watching your home, your business with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. I've trusted IPS for years. I suggest you give them a call and see what they can do for you as well. Committed to our city and your protection. Call them at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of
ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Yeah, sorry, Marty. I didn't mean to wait you out on this. I was just. I know I got on that tangent. What ex-players do to get an analyst job: play the game usually for a decade or two, thousands and thousands of hours of film study. Shooting a girls' soccer game in Los Lunas won't prepare anyone for a professional sports analyst role. I'm not saying it would. No, I never said that. So what you're saying is, watching all that tape for a decade, they were preparing for an analyst? No, they did that to play football. Now, are they more qualified to do the analyst role? I understand it. My point is that work, that grind was to be a player. That work grind was to get the TV job. They got the TV job. They didn't grind to get that sweet TV job. That's all. Is it apples to apples? It's not. You brought up a great point.
Oh, yes, with the Colts in the interim. So what about within the Indianapolis Colts, within all the coaching, nothing has been working. So they wanted to bring in a new person to shake things up and to change stuff. Nothing was working with the other coaches, the new coaches, the staff. So maybe Irsay wanted to bring someone in, make a change.
You know, typically, JJ, the point on this is interesting, right? So typically, your team's not going well. You fire the head coach, and you elevate somebody on the staff. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't. What she's saying is, man, we got a bleep show here. Why do I want to elevate assistant bleep show coach so we can continue what's going on here? I'm going to bring someone completely in from the outside and revamp it. Look, I don't know. All I know
Which is fine in the interim. It's fine. It really is. Like, he hired his friend. Like, and you can get away with that in season. You could not do this in the off season. It would be a big problem at that point in time. So I think people are frustrated because they're like, oh, we don't want this to happen, but it's not going to happen. It was just an interim thing. Move on. You're not going to see some, giant thing where all of a sudden all these owners are going to be hiring their best friends in the off season. Now, the thing too with the whole Colts situation, how much of it is on Jim Irsay? Because who made the decision to never play Matt Do you think Frank Reich really sat down and said, I'm never going to put Matt Ryan back in a game?
Somebody said it. Who said it? Who said it?
It was Frank Reich. Okay. But I do not
aware of that, doesn't he?
I don't think he would start Sam Ehlinger the entire year and put his job on the line already like that. And so I think we're sitting here trying to defend Jim Irsay, and I'm wondering, that sounded more like it came down from him.
Yeah.
like we're starting Sam and never coming back. But then Jeff Saturday comes in and gets to say, hey, Matt Ryan's back, and he looked like an NFL veteran quarterback on Sunday and won a game.
I think that's a really fair question, and I don't know the answer, right? I don't know who decided. Did the owner tell the coach, bench the guy we just paid millions of dollars for and invested in and put in that rookie? If he did, it's on him. And I think, are we defending him? I don't know. I feel dirty defending Irsay. I really do. And I think there would be two different things that we would be defending if that in fact was the conversation. The other thing is, and I know this is uber sensitive, okay? A lot of, and I acknowledge that there is a problem with the number of minority head coaches. There needs to be more minority head coaches in the National Football League. Right now you have Steve Wilkes as an interim. Mike McDaniels is a black coach down in Miami. You have Lovie Smith in Houston.
Tomlin.
And Mike Tomlin. I think that's it, right? It needs to look more like the league. The head coaching positions need to be more representative of the athletes. And I know a big part of this was Jeff Saturday's a white guy, and a lot of people were really upset. If Irsay would have brought in Marvin Harrison or another African American former player, would the uproar have been as big? JJ froze.
Oh shoot! I was waiting for him to answer.
I was like he looked super
I
pensive.
question that, since that is a time where we're trying to be progressive and make changes, and I think people would feel differently.
I don't know, honestly. I would like to believe that the principle would be applied equally. And look, I preface this whole thing with the flat out, yes, I'm on board that there needs to be more minority head coaches, more African American head coaches that are representative of what that league looks like, what the players look like. So the answer to that, I get that, but would the outcry have been any different? Less? I don't think it would have been more. And so you think you think people would have been more willing to accept that Irsay's got a black
Accept that, or also
People would have been fine if they gave it to John Fox or Gus Bradley.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that part. But if he went outside of that coaching staff, that current coaching
that's
staff.
a part of the issue, I think, too, that people want to see more of is.
Yeah, if he'd have gone outside the current coaching staff and hired a former player that was African American, would the outcry still have been the same? And I don't know. Look, I acknowledge it. There needs to be more minority head coaches. There does. And I understand that being part of the situation, and this was people feeling this was Irsay's way to shoehorn in a white coach around the Rooney Rule. That's to your point where people are saying he got away with something, but that's an interim thing. This can't be a long-term thing.
Yeah, and I do also, agree with what A. Marie said, and it's like you have a struggling football team. You're way off of the expectations you set for yourself, and you want to bring in a new voice from the outside, which I don't think is crazy. And I think Jeff Saturday too, while he's 1-0 as an interim head coach, you wonder. I would be really interested to just get a behind the scenes look of what he even did that entire week, other than just being like a hand clap guy.
100%, man. 100%. Did he just say we're starting Ryan and you guys coach the team? Because he couldn't come in and implement offenses, defenses, calls, checks, and anything. No, you're right. All right, we'll go on the phones when we come back. I got to take this break. 505-246-0610. That's the number to get in. 505-246-0610. And I'm interested in what you all think on this. Many men and women are struggling with hair loss. They don't know where to go. If you are concerned about thinning hair, you should know about industry-leading cutting-edge treatments to reverse that trend and restore your hair at NuMale. NuMale's help men and women feel better, look better by getting their hair back. NuMale's medical professionals walk you through the process. You choose the procedure that's best for you, whether it's platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells, deepen your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair, to an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. They also offer you NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. Men, ladies, call NuMale at 505-652-1688. That's 652-1688, or online at Numail, NUMALE.com. And guys, remember that they can still help you with things like fatigue, depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. Testosterone replacement has men feeling better and performing better. It's probably time to deal with those things. Schedule today, 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or online at Numail.com.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkins behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they have today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Got into him today and help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks a tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, he actually went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Smashed it well. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line away. This is a long start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it. He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it.
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
All right, back at it. You know, the other thing is, and we're going to phones at 505-246-0610. JJ, how many, I don't know what the percentage is, but how many interim coaches get the job? Was Lovie Smith interim when Bill O'Brien got fired? Was he interim? I think, but I can't think of a lot of interim coaches. Rich Bisaccia
No.
keep it. Like how many interim coaches keep the job permanently, or nothing's permanently, long term, right?
Not many. And yeah.
So, I mean, this may be moot when it's all said and done, but it's obviously not moot the way it was done. George, good morning to you. Thanks for holding. Hello, George.
Oh, hello. I didn't catch the George part of it.
Sorry.
Good morning, guys. You know, the Stars, number one, the most valuable sports team in the world. Unfortunately, they also have the number 32 ranked rushing defense in the NFL. You know, a couple of things on the Cowboys. One is their rushing defense. They keep playing like that. They may not make the playoffs, and if they do, they'll be 1-and-out. Two, Dak still hasn't shown me that he can deliver in crunch time. Anytime Dak is in the game and it's crunch time, he just doesn't deliver, just like he didn't deliver against Green Bay. So as far as the coaching stuff is concerned, clearly there's a imbalance, and you know, the Rooney Rule was supposed to help correct that. I believe, you know, and you judge somebody by the quality of their character and not the color of their skin. And who would have ever guessed that Diebold, who had never heard of, would have been such a fantastic coach for the Giants. So I don't know exactly how they should do this, but clearly there are some qualified black, particularly coordinators, that have been overlooked for 2 or 3 years that should have had head coaching jobs by now.
Eric Bieniemy being one
anyway.
of them. All right. Yeah, thanks, George. Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. First of all, the Cowboys, they lost a game. I'm not ready to jump off and say they're not going to make the playoffs.
It's over.
They lost again. They're still pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to guess.
I mean, they're favored on the road next week.
Yeah. Are they on the road next week?
The Cowboys? Yes, they're favored on the road against Minnesota. The Minnesota
At
Vikings.
Minnesota, yeah. There's many qualified black head coaches who probably should be, or at least having an opportunity. And the Eric Bieniemy thing is mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one that's at the top of the list.
You look, but I'm going to guess. I don't know. I mean, are there some white coaches who aren't getting a chance too? Yeah, but are there white coaches who got a chance above some black coaches? That's probably right as well. I'm going to guess there's a lot of people who are waiting for their chance. And this guy got plucked right out of the TV booth and got it plushed up. Like, there's no doubt this guy got a great opportunity, didn't grind for it. You know, Cowher said, and I have no doubt that what Cowher said is true. He was offered the opportunity to be on the staff, to grind, to learn coaching, and opted not to because he wanted to spend time with his family, and then was offered the top job and took it. I mean, look, is that an ascension? Is that a privilege that I can't? I mean, I don't know. You got something comparable? Has anybody else gotten something like that? Yes, Steve Kerr, Aaron Boone. I mean, like think of Aaron Boone as the manager of the Yankees. What did he do to win that job?
Similar situations where there's
Steve Kerr do?
Not the perfect path. He was just in the front office.
Right. All right. What about Aaron Boone?
Yeah.
Had he coached at all? He was sitting at ESPN, right? And the Yankees hired him to be the manager.
Yeah, we've seen it in, people are not necessarily going to scream about baseball managers, but you're bringing up a good point. There's different paths for everyone to get there, and sometimes it's the untraditional path. And I think with David Ross is another one for the Cubs.
Yeah.
I'm a manager about it, but it doesn't make those things necessarily right either, depending on the entire process. But I think when it's such a high profile position like an NFL head coach, it's going to be overly scrutinized in a situation like
that. Yeah, and I understand all that, and I understand people being upset. Again, I don't know that I think Robert Irsay, right? That's the Irsay?
Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay. I don't think I would have done something differently and probably more traditional and looked in that locker room and elevated one of my assistants. But to Marie's point, it wasn't working. Why am I elevating assistant bleep show coach to head bleep show coach when it's a bleep show?
Yeah.
Right? That kind of makes sense to me. I'm bringing something else in, but I'm bringing in a guy who flat out has never done this before. All right, fresh perspective. He won his first game. He gets the first laugh. We'll see who gets the last laugh. I don't know if it's going to work. But the whole, he didn't do anything. You're right. It's unconventional.
He's playing the Eagles next week.
They get the Eagles next week?
At home. Could you imagine?
I think the best thing about this for Jeff Saturday is not many people get to say something on Twitter and then go out there and actually back it up. And this man, Jeff Saturday, tweeted out earlier this season, the Raiders look terrible. And then he stepped on the football field as an interim NFL head coach and beat the Raiders. So that can never be taken away from Jeff Saturday.
That's what I told you yesterday. That Raider loss is the worst loss of any team this year. I think that is the worst loss any team has taken this year.
They brought Matt Ryan back from the dead.
Yeah.
They brought a dude from ESPN, and they beat you
a bad
in Vegas.
That just fired their coach, that brought some guy off the set, cleared his makeup off his face. He became the head coach. He called you out, told you how bad you stink, came into your place, resurrected a quarterback.
Jonathan Taylor had 147 yards.
And beat you. I mean, give me a worse loss this
right?
season. I mean, there's been
honestly,
some
Jeff,
bad
you know what
losses.
this is telling us?
What?
Is we all should be NFL head coaches. That's how easy it is.
You know what, JJ?
Give the football to Jonathan Taylor. Don't bench Matt Ryan the whole season. We all could do that job.
You know what, JJ? I think you need to go after you leave Las Cruces. Go up to Nathaniel Hackett and just take over there. All right?
Absolutely, I'm in. Let's go. We'll fix that mess.
Be, right?
I mean, come on. We got to just find out. We know somebody. Yeah. We represent the Broncos on this station.
JJ, I appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate when we disagree on stuff. I told you one of the things I try to do most in this position is just think a little bit differently, a little out of the box, and it just hit me the other day or yesterday. The whole grinding thing, and then Amory, your point, I had not thought, and I guess Kyle thought that, right?
Yeah, I've had to hear it a lot in my household.
Yeah.
My insider.
I hadn't thought that way either. I mean, you're right, JJ. The traditional, the conventional, the way it's always done. Fire your coach, you promote somebody from your staff.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do it this way. Now, typically, you don't bring a guy who's got zero experience to drive the ship, but they did. He gets first laugh. I'm not sure he's going to get last laugh, but he gets the first laugh. When they get beat by the Eagles this week, what are we going to be saying? And they're going to get beat by the Eagles this week.
I think.
Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor.
You never know. I mean, can you believe? I want to look at the line of that game.
All of a sudden, Matt Ryan's going to become freaking Matt Ryan again, and this will be something. All right, 505
Comeback player of the year.
0610. Keep them coming. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is a one-stop.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
So there's Colts fans around here, huh? Is that what you're telling me?
That's not my husband, which is great.
All right. 505.
I mean, they're coming out.
246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Amory, Adrian. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26. JJ down in Cruces for Lobo Aggie basketball tonight. George, good morning to you. Or wait, is that George? No, Michael. Good morning, Michael. How you doing, Michael?
I'm well, thank you, guys.
What's happening?
Long-time Colts fan. Became a Colts fan the year they lost to Joe Namath in the Super Bowl. So long-time
That's
Colts
a while
fan.
ago, yeah.
I'm good with everything that's going on right now because I understand the NFL. I mean, sometimes you're going to be unorthodox. If nobody's screaming about Jeff Saturday, I would say clearly this season up to this point, the Colts' biggest problem was their offensive line. Go back and watch Jeff Saturday play center for Peyton Manning.
It was pretty good.
One of the smartest linemen in the NFL. If you're going to center for Peyton Manning, you've got to be smart. You've got to know the game, and you watch him, he's calling out everything. So the man knows that position. Also, NFL player representative of all the players for the NFL union for quite some time, so highly trusted by players, not just his own team, but the players throughout the NFL. Clearly something went right. I mean, it wasn't going right up to that point. So you look at Irsay, this guy grew up in that locker room. He was born into this team. I don't blame him for going outside the lines. Let's give it a shot. I mean, it couldn't have gotten much worse.
That's right.
So as far as this move goes, I mean, the NFL is about winning. Now, to kind of segue to the other subject of the Rooney Rule and how it's all going down is, you look at somebody like Irsay, he's all in for this team. And you were right earlier when you said it's a business. I don't think any of these owners give a rat's rear end about what color a guy's skin is. There's been black coaches in this league that have done exceptionally well. There's been other black coaches that haven't. There's been white coaches that have done well and haven't. I just can't see the color of anybody's skin having anything to do with it. These owners and these teams want to win.
I think that organization too.
It's the roll of the dice, you know, when you hire somebody. So good on him for hiring Saturday. I'm happy he got that win. You know, next week is Philly. I sat with a Philly fan last night and watched that game, so I don't expect the same result. But why not? Roll the dice. Give it a shot.
Right on, Michael. Don't be a stranger. Appreciate the call. Thank you. So that organization also, both of you, has had success with black coaches. Tony Dungy, Jim Caldwell. You know, I, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of the last 20 years, they've had a minority head coach, that organization, right? And I know that, look, I'm not telling you that's enough. I'm not telling you that checks a box. Please, please, please don't think that's what I'm telling you. But I'm just, what Michael said is I don't think that they just went out and said, we're not going to get a black coach. He wanted this guy. Dungy was there for a lot of years. Jim Caldwell was. Jim Caldwell, to me, should get another chance, by the way. There should be more black coaches in this league. There should. But in this situation, this coach or this owner wanted to go away. He hired his buddy, man. There's more than one ways to do things, and that's what we're going to continue to find out. All right, if you want to continue on that, you can. I've kind of expired my thoughts on that. You got anything else?
Not right now.
That was productive.
Oh. All right, got hoops tonight. Tonight's a pretty good night in the Mountain West, JJ. Have you looked kind of a little bit at what's going on in the Mountain West tonight for men's basketball?
There's two games that stand out.
Well, there's kind of three. New Mexico SMU is good. San Diego State, 17th in the country at Stanford. Stanford 1-1. They lost to Wisconsin. You see the Wisconsin game? They played at the Brewers' home field. They set up a field at the Brewers Park. And
how did I miss that one? When was that?
That was just the other day. They lost.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. And
then, I think Aztecs 5-point favorites.
Aztecs are 5-point favorites on the road. Pac-12 network game, which just scrapes me. So you can't watch it. That's what I'm telling you. But that game is in Palo Alto, and that's a good watch if you can get it. And then late night, 9:00 tonight, UNLV hosts 21st ranked Dayton, Thomas and Mack Center on CBS Sportsnet. So that,
big game for the league.
Yeah, 3 big games
early
for the
season
league tonight. Don't you think? 3?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just kind of assumed the Lobos were on there, but it is 3 big games and good games early in the season, and you need this. And this is the one thing. We are getting the Champions Classic tonight. I did enjoy Michigan State Gonzaga. The weather wasn't a big factor in the game on the aircraft carrier on Friday. College basketball has to be better in the first 2 weeks of making marquee matchups stand out, because there's opportunity early in the season. You have your moments. Tuesday night championship classic, Duke Kansas tonight, Friday night Gonzaga Michigan State. They got to keep making this a focus of early in the season because they need a little buzz at this point in time, and there's still nights you can win, even in football season.
And when we come back, I'll get you up to date on what happened in the Mountain West last night, basketball-wise. We're going to get into the Commanders and Eagles, what that means, big picture, and you can continue the conversation on the Colts if you'd like. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Undefeated no more. Washington Commandos took care of that last night, taking care of the football, running it down their neck. Got some controversial calls. I want to talk a little bit about instant replay and where it should go and what we should do with it. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A-Marie, and Adrian. Thanks for being with us this morning. Lobos play basketball tonight. The men play against SMU on the road over on News Radio KKB, 6 o'clock tip, 5:30 pregame show. JJ is in Las Cruces, where the ladies will play the Aggies tonight at the Pan Am Center. 6 o'clock tip, 5:30 pregame show right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. I want to get into the replay thing a little bit. JJ, Bill Belichick was really adamant about a missed call. In another game, it was the Bills game. Gabe Davis had a catch, and the NFL admitted it should have been reviewed. In the Vikings-Bills game, same game, the Bills had 12 men on the field on a critical play. Last night, there was a face mask, brutally obvious face mask that was not called on a turnover. Well, it's not reviewable. Should there be more stuff like that that's reviewable?
The Gabe Davis non-catch was just a mistake by the league because that's a reviewable play at that
within 2 minutes
point in the game. It should have been stopped, and it wasn't. That was a mistake. And when it comes to obvious things, I think that's tough because where do you draw that line? Is it just personal fouls because we saw a face mask on a fumble? Or do you say, well, holding calls, and then are we looking at every holding call on the line in a situation like that? Or should it just be simple things that, like you said, 12 men on the field that should have been spotted because it's someone's job to count the players? So I guess you got to, then start piecing it out of what falls into that extra review category.
Bring this game to a screeching halt any more than it already is. But again, I go back to the premise: the reason we're doing replays to get it right, and we've got the capabilities to get it right. At what point do you say, yeah, we want to get it right, but we can't get it right in this instance because that's not reviewable? Well, here's what's right. Look, dude grabbed his face, man. I know, but yeah, that one we can't get right because, well, we can't review obvious calls like that because that one should be reviewable. Guy ripped his face mask and turned his head.
Well, isn't every missed call obvious in that case? When you look at or back at a replay?
Yeah, probably. And that's where the fine line comes in. Yeah. But sometimes we watch it frame by frame. Whoa, was that a block in the back? Or did he get his head around? Or was it? And that's nobody wants to get there. Grady, good morning.
All grinders, non-place jumpers of the OD and the AM. What's happening? So, please forgive me. I'm going to regress a bit and hit on the Colt situation. So, just a couple of points. I'm not sure where some other folks have heard that this is a race conversation, a Rooney Rule 100% conversation. Because I'll tell you this, you guys mentioned it. Irsay, as an owner, and the Colts as an organization, have been pretty progressive with hiring black minority coaches. They've been out in front of it. So I don't think that the majority argument is that's the key factor. I know we had a caller say that, definitely kind of make sure that wasn't the point. What I think is, if you look at the people who are upset and the outcry isn't just coming from, black faces, black voices. It's coming from a lot of different types of folks.
Yep.
So I don't think so. And there are players and people who associate with the NFL who, again, they like Irsay, and from that perspective, they're big friends of Saturday as well. So I don't think that's the issue. But I will say that the hiring of Saturday, an unintended consequence is that you do undercut the Rooney Rule. You do undercut, getting more minorities in coaching positions. And it's ironic because Irsay, again, he's been very progressive about that. I mean, the Colts as an organization have been very good about that. So, but I don't think that's the key issue at all.
Let me ask you this real quick before you move. So how do you do that? If you're going to fire a coach on Monday, you got a game on Sunday. How do you go about? And I think I know that's why the Rooney Rule doesn't apply to interim. How do you apply the Rooney Rule if you got to hire? I got to fire a coach and I got to hire a coach within an hour.
Well, again, I think you answered the question. You can't and you don't. And again, at least the voices that I'm listening to and faces that I'm seeing, they're not upset about that. Right. I mean, it adds kind of an extra spice to the whole controversy, but I don't think that's a big issue just because of what you just said. So that's where I don't think it's as big a deal, quite frankly, racially, as some folks think it might be now. To answer your hypothetical, if he would have replaced Saturday, right, or if it would have been Marvin Harrison, would there have been the same amount of outcry? And I definitely agree. Well, I think there would have been, and you said it would have been different. And I also agree it would have been different. And I would dare say then you would have heard a lot more competency issues, a lot more competency questions, because that typically is what follows
the
minority coaches when they get into those positions. It's like, well, yeah, they're great guys, they're great locker room guys, they're
he was a
player
good
coaches,
receiver, but yeah, can he lead men? Yeah.
Right. So to answer that question, I think so. And to your example of the talking heads, I was actually grinning about that. I thought that was a pretty good example. However, I'm with my guy JJ. So let's look at the talking heads. Those guys, the athletes, the non-experienced folks, those guys aren't going in leading shows. They didn't replace Ernie Johnson with Chuck. They're not replacing Kurt Menefee with Nate Burleson. They're not replacing, James Brown.
They're replacing someone who had a job.
But again, if the comparison is Jeff Saturday is leading that team. He's the man in charge.
I understand.
None of those athletes on any of those shows, they're not replacing Mike Greenberg.
No. Look. What I'm saying is none of those guys grinded to get that job that they got. And then they're complaining that this guy didn't grind to get his job. And they retired. They had big names, big personalities, and they got a job. And that's cool, man. That's how that works, right? I get it. Well, maybe sometimes that's how this is going to work too.
Yeah, and again, I understand that, but I have to agree with JJ. I don't necessarily think it's
not
an apples-to-apples comparison because those people aren't being brought in to lead the ship. Not to mention that business, and you know this better than probably anybody talking and listening for sure, is about eyeballs and ears.
That's right.
And head coaches in football, that's about winning. And so how can I draw more eyes and ears? Well, yeah, let me put this already famous person here versus how can I get more wins? I'm going to put this person with zero experience. It's not quite
He's
apples to apples,
undefeated.
but I can understand what you're saying.
He's undefeated. He's 1-0.
Never lost.
All right, man. Be well.
Appreciate the time.
That's a good conversation. I agree with you. It's not apples to apples. My point was on the grind. They got handed cush jobs, high-paying cush jobs. So did this guy, right? But his ain't cush. There's nothing cush about being an NFL head coach. It's a hard grind of a job. Now he's got to go grind. Now he's got to figure it out. And either he will or he won't. So I ask you again, percentage of interim coaches that end up keeping the job on a permanent basis or on a long-term basis. And it's very, very slim. The odds of Jeff Saturday being your guy when you open up camp next year aren't very good. Well, but Jeff, I don't know. He's friends with Irsay. You're right. And if he wins, he'll earn that job. Hell, who knows? That locker room may love him. They may hate him. What do you think of him giving game ball to everybody on that team? Think it was soft? Did you like him?
It was a good move.
I thought so too.
Good move.
I thought for a whole group that had been through everything that they went through all week, and the whole turnaround and listen to all the noise around it, and then they went out and that was a team victory. Oh no, it was all Jonathan Taylor. He ran for 100. Yeah, okay, because that offensive line didn't do anything to help with that, and Matt Ryan didn't do anything, and the defense.
Did you see Matt Ryan run for 30 some odd yards?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That looked like a young man
39.
waiting for someone to tackle him. Like, please,
Do you know
someone.
prop bets for gambling? The over-under was one rushing yard.
I guess the winner, huh? Do they factor sack yardage into the quarterback's rushing numbers?
I don't. That's an interesting question,
All right.
actually. I don't think so. I mean,
Here's one thing I had no idea. How do you rule? Do you see the last play of the game last night?
yeah. And guess what? That ruined the over-under for me. Like 90% of America picked under.
Well, I know how it affects that, but how does it go in stats? So Devontae Adams caught the ball, and then he lateraled it backwards, and it was picked up for a fumble. So is that ruled a fumble? Does it come off of his yard? Craziest thing, I lost on that on the fumble, the Jalen Hurts pass. I was going to lose by 0.16 of a point. He had Jalen Hurts, and then somehow on that play, guy was playing on Hurts. They lost 0.20 points, and I won by like a fraction. And I'm like,
It counts as a fumble for
for
Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, because he threw the
How
ball.
did Hurts lose points? That's crazy. So that's how that's ruled. It's ruled a fumble for him. Okay. All right. 505-246.
A win is a win.
I've lost enough of those. Tell you what. 888-922-0610. That is the 377 Brewery hotline, and you can get in on that if you would like. Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? If you got that pain, I know you are. Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed and tying your shoes. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. It gives you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. This is powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. So if you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now. Schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis and injury as well. No drugs, no pain meds, no surgery, and no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment. It can get you lasting relief, and people are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available this week. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688.
Thursday Night Football is prime time and streaming on Prime.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Lobo Hoops tonight. Ladies are here on the sports animal. JJ Buck is in the beautiful city of Crosses, Las Cruces, Nuevo Mexico. They'll be at the Pan Am Center. Lobos and Aggies. 5:30 pregame show, 6 o'clock. Tip at the Pan Am Center over on News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green, courtside in Dallas. Lobo men will take on SMU. A doubleheader of Lobo Hoops tonight, but simultaneous doubleheader here in our family of stations, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, of course, over on News Radio KKOB. All right, got a lot of correspondence. You can get in on the 377 Brewery hotline. The number is 505-246-0610 or 888-922-0610. Got a few things on the Colts. Where'd that one go? Lobo Hobo says, Jeff Saturday equals Lobo fans. He says, when I hear Indy sucks, why not try something different? It reminds me of Lobo fans suggesting a high school coach for the vacancy of whatever struggling program is hiring at the time. If Heath Ridenauer was winning a million games at Cleveland this year, how many calls would you be getting for Lobo football that they should hire him? I don't know. I don't know that I think that's exactly the difference, but I get where you're going. Garcia says the bigger issue, Jeffrey, the referee, is coaches don't get to have a bad year anymore. If you read all the message boards, Maine fans are already done with their new coach. If Rocky Long was in charge of this year's team instead of Danny, would Lobo fans have any more patience with him? They'd be wanting to run him out of town again. Well, I don't think this is any sort of revelation that fans don't have patience. Is it?
No.
I mean, but I think each situation is different. Who is this? Carl. Carl says crystal ball time, JJ. Black Friday morning, the OD just hoed before the tip. When Danny Gonzalez was hired, he called out Colorado State by name as a club-level football must-beat, and this is the most mediocre Rams squad since Steve Fairchild days. Will the OD conversation be win or Gonzalez will be gone? I'm going to tell you, no. I as much as some of you want that to happen, I don't see at all Eddie making a move, and I've told you I don't believe that they should make a move at head coach after the season. I think Danny Gonzalez is your head coach back next year, and I think it's the right thing.
I'm with you on that. I do not believe they'll make a head coaching change after this season. It will be a really difficult situation for Danny next year because he'll have to hit on so many things on the offensive side of the football right away. Because he's not going to get 2-3 years after that with a new OC and then be like, oh, we're recruiting this style, this is what we're going to do. So it's always under a lot of pressure. Don't think they're going to make a change after this season, and it's going to be tough, but they got to hit on offense right away.
Yeah, I think part of the conversation when they evaluate football is what are you going to do about your offense? Being dead last 2 years in a row in offense is not okay, right? And Danny's acknowledged that, and he's going to have to make changes. Heath Ridenauer is your interim offensive coordinator. I don't see a scenario where he's your offensive coordinator this year. Now, he may be understaffed, but they are going to have to go out and hire an offensive coordinator that has got a proven track record, and then they've got to recruit to that system. And JJ, a recruit to the point where they get in playmakers that are coming in and making immediate impacts, whether that means quarterback, whether that means receiver, whether that means running backs, whether that means all the above. I don't see them making a change in head coach. Obviously, they need to make a change on the offensive side.
Yeah, there'll be a new offense coordinator next season. Either Ridenauer could go back to quarterback coaching position because they're short-staffed right now. They're not going to get rid of more coaches. They're going to add coaches to the staff, especially on the offensive side of the football, because they got a lot of good defensive minds. They got to add offensive talent to the coaching staff. And I know people hate the word transfer portal, but when it comes to skill position players on the outside, they're going to have to get one or two guys that can step in and start right away on the perimeter for this offense next year.
They'll dig it when you get guys that help. You just don't like when they go the other way. You like when you get the help from it, and they've got to find it. James wants to talk about the women. Jeff, have you been keeping track of the numbers? I have not. Right now, JJ, maybe you know this. Mountain West women's basketball RPI. When the season started? A week ago Monday? Are we eight days into the season?
Yes.
Okay. Right now, women's RPI Mountain West is 29th as a league. Lady Lobos are number 309, according to James. With that said, you better beat New Mexico State, who has another new coach and picked 10th in the WAC. Better beat him like a drum, he says. How do you respond to that?
This is a game that the Lobos should have tonight, yes.
All right. They have to beat him like a drum? They have to blow him out of that belt tonight?
It would always be nice to blow your opponent out the belt. But I think a solid victory will suffice.
Yeah.
You know they have to win, Jeff, by a large margin.
Never enough, right? It's never good enough. All right, Dan says, hope for Juan Jose. Jeff, when the national talking head that was on instead of the part-time no show on Saturday morning was yelling into the mic that Jeff Saturday sucks, it got me thinking, what if the Lady Lobos lose to NMSU? Would Nunez pluck Juan Jose from the broadcast to replace Bradbury? Tomorrow, this show might be Jeffrey, Ana Maria, and Dan. So what he's saying is, if Lobos lose to the Aggies, does Bradbury get fired on the bus home, and you're the new head coach?
Hard no.
Hard no. Is that because you don't want the job?
No, it's because it wouldn't happen.
if Bradbury left tomorrow to take a job at LSU, and they offered you the job, would you take it?
Would I take it
Come on,
if I get
JJ
to sign a
Saturday.
guaranteed contract? Yes.
JJ Saturday? I mean, you could do that job, right? I mean, how hard could it be? Everybody who calls
Could I
us
do it?
was a better
Absolutely
coach
not.
than coaches.
Do I want the guaranteed contract? Yes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You mean you don't make that doing this plush radio job, riding the bus down to Las Cruces and doing your radio show from the hotel room? You don't make that big money?
I'm still grinding, Jeff.
I know. All right, I want to get more into the NFL. Cooper Kupp's injury, which is just a bummer. I want you to react to the Commanders and Eagles. Cowboy fan, how do you feel about what happened last night? So now it keeps you within a couple of games of first place, but that team crawling up the back of you just got a little closer, and Washington looked like a football team last night. I'm not going to lie. And they're getting Chase Young back. They look like a football team that's got two guys who can run the ball, a couple of receivers, and whether you believe in Taylor Heineke or not, he's got a winning record as a starting quarterback. So are the Commanders legit as well in this division? No longer do we have an unbeaten in the NFL. We'll get into that next. Thank you for being with us on a Tuesday morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I have to tell you guys that I finally found the best brewery in town, 377 Brewery. It is named after the flight wing at Kirtland Air Force Base. And if you haven't been there, 377 Brewery is located on the northwest corner at Yale and Gibson. So it's right around the corner from the pit. I know everyone's been dying for a pregame or postgame spot after you cheer on the Lobos and Isotopes. It's a great mix of European-style beers, and if you don't love award-winning beers, they have local spirits for you to enjoy. And award-winning Kitchen by TripAdvisor and Yelp. 377 Brewery also has a great party room. Book it for your holidays. And this Saturday, after the Aggies and Lobos game, I'm hosting a stand-up comedy show there at 8 p.m. So stop in and check them out 11 to 11 every day, but Sunday when it closes at 10 at 377brewery.com.
Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, A. and Adrian. Glad you're with us as the phone lines are open. It's the 377 Brewery hotline, by the way. 505-246-0610. That's 505-246-0610. That's also the text line where you're coming in. Eagles lose last night. First time that they have lost all season. They lose to the Commandos last night. You can get in on that. Who's on one? Is something I should know about?
Oh.
Sorry, you don't have to tell me. All right, I can do that. I mean, I could guess. I would have got it on like the 5th or 6th try.
I bet you could at this time of the show.
Hello, Bruin James. How you living? James.
Good. I'm a little upset, man.
Why?
Who do we get rid of? Do we get rid of Derek
Chip
Carr
Kelly.
or do we get rid of the coach?
Chip Kelly after
go.
Chip Kelly after losing that game to Arizona, for crying out loud.
No, he's no.
Screwed up the whole Pac-12.
We planned it that way. That's how we did it.
No,
Bruin Saturday. Here we come.
You let down the whole West Coast. You got the Trojans coming this weekend, and you went in and were flat and let down the whole Pac-12 by losing. I mean, I'm a little disappointed in you.
we still have a ray of hope, bro. We're still good, man. If we beat FC, we still look good. We still can play for the Pac-12 championship.
Yes, you can. You can.
So we're all good. We're all right. Everything's okay. All right, guys. All right, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
Later.
It's 57 degrees here in Ranch Cucamonga, and it is cold. So have a good one.
Enjoy
Take care, guys.
the Inland Empire. So he's in the Inland Dumpster. I'm sorry, the Inland Empire, and it's 57 degrees, and they all got beanies on and parkas, because that's how it is, JJ. It's how it is when you live in the IE or the ID. You think I'm wrong when I say UCLA let the whole West Coast down?
Chilly
Even if they beat SC, they're not getting into the college football playoff.
And gamblers.
Well, gamblers. I'm sure there's a gambler or two who kind of hit on Arizona. They let down the whole West. This game against SC is for the Pac-12 South, but it was going to be for so much more, because the winner of that game was going to go play for the Pac-12 championship with a realistic shot of playing in the CFP. And now only SC's got that chance. They let down the whole stinking West Coast. That's all I'm telling you. Dwight wants to know what happened to Jeffett. Well, the Rams haven't won in about a year.
Oh, come on, guys.
It was just 9 months
why.
ago Roger Goodell was handing Boyd Genius the championship belt. Now they're unwatchable. How did they go downhill so fast? P.S. Loving JJ Saturday. I don't even know what JJ Saturday is. Oh, yeah. See, JJ Saturday was the coach when JJ gets the job as the women's basketball team. Got it. How did they go down? What's your theory on the Rams? Why do the Rams stink so bad? They won the Super Bowl championship, and they are brutal. I don't think Matthew Stafford's healthy. Their offensive line is bad. They have no running game.
No running game.
Outside of Cooper Kupp, who's now injured, they have no one to throw to. They went out and paid Allen Robinson, and they got nowhere to go. And by the way, their defense has a couple of studs, and after that, they're not that damn good. I mean, that's my assessment. You guys can. What do you guys think?
You went all in. You got a Super Bowl. Enjoy that.
That's kind of my point. That's what I told Addie.
Just awesome. You have a Super Bowl.
She's like, Dad, why do the Rams stink so bad? I said, I don't know, but wouldn't you rather
yes,
have that 1 year?
Yes.
And if you got to stink for a couple, at least you had that one.
Yes.
Like, it sucks to stink.
Yes.
And I hate watching the Niners be good because they're so cute.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know, JJ. Would you rather have one Super Bowl year, or be like, well, no, be the Packers and get 1 seeds every year and not do anything?
Championship.
Kind of right.
Everyone wants a ring.
That's right.
Once in a lifetime.
Cut down nets. Win. Cut
Just
down
one.
nets. That's right. You don't think this is your year?
That's all I keep hearing about now.
I'm on the Vikings, man. I told you, I've been on the Vikings the whole damn time.
Trying to keep it professional in media right now, but
no, I understand. I see
this team is different. I will say I've watched this team for 30 years
because they got a gritty, gutty, motivating head coach that people buy into with just an unbelievable world-class education.
And sometimes a coach makes a quarterback. Maybe this is what Kirk Cousins needed.
He went to the Harvard of the Southwest.
He did?
Yeah, the Harvard by the beach.
I know, Jeff.
Well, they're not really by the beach.
He's an Aztec.
No, yeah. Well, there's something to it. I'm just saying. Sean
I'm
Madden-
believing it so far.
John Madden coach there, Don Coryell, John Fox. I'm just saying, Rocky Long. I mean, you go look at the Mesa and look at some of the coaches that have come through there. It's pretty decent ones. Yours is pretty good. All right. Last night, JJ said more about the Eagles or the Redskins.
The Commanders.
I said Redskins. Sorry.
No, we all do it.
Yeah, I know. No. I mean, I'm not worried about getting canceled. That
Neither
was
am I. I do it all the time, by the way.
Commanders or the Eagles? So you think the Commanders?
Yeah, I think that game was dominated by the Commanders.
I agree with you 1,000%.
They executed a fantastic game plan, took the air out of the entire stadium, made sure that Philadelphia can have their explosive offense on the field, made plays, were good in third down situations. That's what I love about this game, because we try to tell ourselves every week that, hey, expect the unexpected. There were, one person on that entire pregame show last night that picked Washington, and I think it was Alex Smith.
It was Alex
that did it.
I like it though. I like it.
Alex Smith grinded to get that TV job, by the way. He did grind.
Poor guy almost lost his leg.
Yeah. So we might as well give him a really sweet push job. I agree with you. Way more about Washington, and I believe that that's a decent football team. I don't know what happened to their defense from 2 years ago, and I know Ron Rivera was kind of riding the shelf. He probably still is, and he's been doing this with bubble gum and toothpicks and keeping it all together.
Very injured.
Yeah, they're
And
super
Chase Young is supposed to come back
supposed
this
to come
week.
back. So that bolsters their defense. He's got a decision to make, and I don't even think it's a decision. Carson Wentz is going to be healthy. There's no decision here, right? Or because you paid Carson Wentz a bunch of money, you got to play him? Paid him so you have to play him? I don't buy that. I mean, honestly, who's a better quarterback right now? Is it Carson Wentz or is it Taylor Heineke?
You activate Carson Wentz to be your backup quarterback next weekend.
You activate him to be your backup quarterback. That's correct.
Yes.
I think that's exactly. And you said, Amory, you said it earlier, and I this is what as I'm watching this. They look like an exciting team with Taylor Heineke. They never did with Carson Wentz. And it does look like these guys play for Taylor Heineke. And you can tell me, and you're probably right to a deep extent, that these guys are all playing for a job, right? So NFL players, they're all playing. They're all going to go out, and they're going to tell you, wow, whoever the quarterback is, they both are great, and they're both great quarterbacks. No, neither are great quarterbacks. But they look like my eyes tell me, and look, I don't know squat. I mean, you can hire me to be a coach then. I mean, I don't know anything. But my eyes tell me they're a better football team right now with Taylor Heineke than they are. And even the end of last year, than they were with Carson Wentz. I don't even think there's a choice here. So, I mean, that's to me, this one's easy. All right, other NFL stuff. Cooper Kupp, high ankle sprain. Out, maybe, but maybe not. They haven't ruled him out. That's a big deal if you think the Rams are worth anything. And I don't know. It's a huge deal because the Rams are so bad, right? I mean, is it a big deal? Yeah, for your fantasy team, it sucks. But in the big picture of the NFL, like when LeBron's the greatest player in the game, but when he gets hurt, does anybody matter? Does anybody care? Does it matter because the Lakers are so bad? You know what I mean? When a good player on a really bad team gets hurt, like it's a bummer, but how big of a deal is it? And the Rams are a bad team right now. How significant? To me, there's other way more significant injuries, but that's a big deal because he is him. Any other major injuries you're watching? Who is Jameis ever coming back?
I don't think so.
So they decided Andy Dalton's our guy. We're just going to continue to lose with Andy Dalton.
I think so. For the season.
What are we doing?
Interim quarterback.
Why?
I don't know. Who's even put Taysom Hill in at this point? I don't know.
Seriously, for the life of me, I don't understand what they think they're doing.
Put
there.
Taysom Hill in.
Yeah,
they've been very injured as well, the Saints. So, and a very injured team with Andy Dalton.
All right. Well, according to their head coach, Dennis Allen, Jameis is a candidate to start against the Rams this weekend. Quote, I think we got to look at everything. Yeah, I think we got to look at everything, and that'll be a process we go through today and tomorrow as we get ready for the Rams, end quote. So the Saints have started Andy Dalton for the last 7 games. His starting job was contingent on the offense continuing to perform. The Saints are 3-7. They scored 23 total points in their last 2 losses. Quote, coach. And we haven't been doing as well as that the last couple of weeks, so I think I got to evaluate that. I think it's something we need to look at, end quote. Thank you, coach. Thank you. So your offense isn't scoring. You're going to look at your quarterback situation, and maybe Andy Dalton's not your guy. Thank you, coach. What the hell are we doing? So Winston was the starter going into the season. He hurt his back in week 1. He struggled. He played through the injuries the next couple of games, and then they sat him for the next game against the Vikings. That was the London game to get him healed up. But eventually they decided Dalton's our guy full-time. And at the time, Dennis Allen said that the switch, Winston was healthy enough to play, but eventually was not on the injury report, and it's unlikely Winston, who also had a foot injury, by the way, he'll not be 100% this year. Winston health will be a factor. And you're like, okay. They're brutal. That team shouldn't. There's a few teams that shouldn't be this bad. Them and the Raiders.
Yes, and before last week, the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of. Yeah.
Well, I think just as bigger expectations we have before the season.
I mean, tap the brakes on the Colts. Like the perfect storm for them.
That was a little sarcasm, Jeff.
Yeah. Perfect storm.
But these
for
are
them.
teams I thought were going to be not the best, but I think they're going to be competitive. Now they're last in their divisions.
Yeah. Isn't Harvard by the beach Stanford? Says the
oh my gosh.
The text line. Yeah, it's Harvard to the West Coast is Stanford. Yeah.
Northern.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Southern.
Yeah. Mud says Coach Gonzalez needs to hire an offensive coordinator within the end of the season. And January 1st. Okay. All right. So the text line says, what's the big deal? Jeff Saturday was an all-pro lineman. He played with Hall of Famers. He was an ESPN reporter. He coached high school. He knows what he's doing. Calm down, Bill. Bill is just old school. It may not be fair, but life ain't fair. Grow up. Plus, Bill was a player. How many people did he jump in front of because of that and who he knows? Talking about Bill Cowher. Yeah, look, promise you that happened. Promise you. Yeah, it's the unorthodox way, man. We spent a lot of time on this one today.
It was good, though.
I hope so. Got a lot of response to it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up when we come back. 505-246-0610 is the 377 Brewery Hotline. Thanks for being with us this morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Back in 1968.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Harvard of the West Coast. I guess that's Stanford. Whoa, where did all these come from? Oh, you meant the Stanford of Southern California. Obviously, that's UCSD. Well, you guys are all over the place. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, Adrian. All right, I told you I'd get you scores for the Mountain West last night because tonight is a pretty big night for men's basketball in the league. You'll have the Lobos playing at SMU. San Diego State visits Stanford. San Diego State ranks 17th in the country. And then UNLV hosting 21st ranked Dayton tonight. Also tonight, Alabama State at San Jose State. San Jose State's off to a 2-0 start, JJ. Do you know that? Tim Miles' club beat Georgia State. And then Bethesda. So they're 2-0. And Steve Alford's club, Nevada, will host William Jessup. Don't talk to me about soft schedules for the Lobos. William Jessup. Do you know what that is? Because I'm not certain I do. That'd be some dude who's got a school somewhere, probably near Nevada. Yesterday, Mountain West men, Utah State improved to 3-0. They beat Santa Clara like a drum, 96-74. Taylor Funk, 22, JJ, for the U-Tags last night. I think JJ's with us, although he's frozen on my visual. Is he there on the audio? All right, I'll stop talking to him. JJ, talking.
I hear you guys at least.
Okay. All right, so Utah State beating Santa Clara, then being 3-0 and off to a pretty good start. You impressed by them?
Yeah, the non-conference schedule's not going to be full of amazing games, so you beat the teams you are better than. That's part of the non-conference schedule, filling home dates, taking care of business, and avoid bad losses like when you're a 21.5-point favorite at home and Southwest Louisiana beat you.
If you're Wyoming. All right, Colorado State beat Weber State yesterday, 77-52, and Air Force lost at home to Texas A&M Commerce. New Dunk City. 73-69 A&M Commerce over Air Force. So, yeah, that's what you got last night. It's nothing that's going to knock your socks off. A couple of opportunities in the WAC last night. Utah Tech, the old Dixie State, gave Washington a run up in Seattle. 78-67, Washington beat Utah Tech. And then Sam Houston beat remember that Le Tourneau team that the Lobos beat in the COVID year? Like one of their few wins. I thought it was a French restaurant. Le Tourneau. They beat them 48. They're still playing. All right, so that's...
Did the Lobos play them a couple years ago?
Yeah, the COVID year.
COVID year.
Yeah, remember it was like one of their few wins. They played in Houston and they beat Le Tourneau. JJ's having internet problems. Like he disappears. Like you're there now?
I'm here audio wise. Visually, it could be a problem.
All right, that's actually good to know. That's actually really good to know. All right. Also tonight, you get the Champions Classic. So the stuff we get tonight from Madison Square Garden, and ESPN puts on this every year. The Champions Classic, you get Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, and Michigan State every single year to play in this. It's pretty special. All on the same floor. This time it's taking place at in Indianapolis at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's always, well, not always. It's typically, they move this one around. This goes Indianapolis, New York, Chicago. This could be really fun tonight, don't you think? I mean, this is one of my favorite early nights of the year. Kentucky ranked 4th by Michigan State, and then you get 7th ranked Duke against 6th ranked Kansas. This is such a good watch tonight.
Absolutely.
And college basketball needs this. Like, they need big-time games early in the season. There's no reason to be scared of not playing these games. There's so many games in a season. You're a good team. You're going to get to the NCAA tournament. You don't need to warm up with 5-6 games before you play a good opponent.
Especially those teams, right?
You know, the top, even if you're a top 50 team in college basketball, like, you need to play marquee matchup. The sports needs it. It's already such a sport that's so tough as it's only March or bust for so many people. So they need nights like this. The Champions Classic Tuesday night. There are days you can get away from football in the non-conference season to have marquee games. Play these big games. It doesn't hurt you when you're these big-time teams, and it's good for the product.
Did you see the non-conference schedule that Gonzaga's put together? So they'll play Texas tomorrow, and look, they get beat up all the time for their conference, and supposedly, their conference isn't very good. So non-conference, they will play. This is an exclusive. I'm giving you the dogs off here. They play Michigan State. They play Texas. They play Kentucky. They play Baylor. They play Washington. They play Alabama. I mean, that right? That's insane.
Yes.
And to your point, because they can. And they'll win some of those. They beat Michigan State. They got a good one at Texas today, who's ranked 11th. They play 11th ranked Texas, 4th ranked Kentucky, 5th ranked Baylor, 18th ranked Alabama. Like that. And they're going to lose a couple of those games. They're ranked number 1 in the country. They're going to lose. And as soon as they lose, everybody's going to tell you, I told you they're not that damn good. Right? They go all the way to the final game. And beat everybody on the way through the tournament. But they didn't win the big one. They're not that damn good. Really? Would your program like to get to the final a couple of times? How many times do you need to get to the Final Four to be pretty damn good?
And that's why they get the seeds that they do in the NCAA tournament, is because they play a non-conference schedule like that to make up for some of the deficiencies that are in the West Coast Conference. But that's what you need to do in college basketball. You have time to make up for it. It's not college football where one loss can injure hopes for doing something crazy at the end of the season. Play big-time games. It's good for the sport.
You like the Lobos at SMU tonight?
I do. I'll take the Lobos. Give me the points.
All right. What? And then you'll be down in Cruces. What is Jody Adams' team all about? I know you've been scouting and doing a lot of homework on New Mexico State. So the Lobos are 1-1, coming off that win over Houston. And what is Jody Adams' team now?
I think they're still trying to figure it out because of how dramatic their first 2 games were. It was a 30-point loss at Colorado, and then they came home and blew New Mexico Highlands out the built here in Las Cruces. One of the sense I got talking with her yesterday is they're going to just try to play as hard as possible, 40 minutes, be a physical team, energy and effort, and she likes that buy-in from it. And so that's why it could be an interesting game for the Lobos coming off the way they had to play against Houston, which is gritty, aggressive, won the game at the free throw line. And so I think it's going to be physical game early, and we'll see if either offense can hit some shots, because that's been a struggle early in the season for both teams.
Yeah. All right, that'll be tonight, 5:30 pregame show. We're going to close out on this, and you know how I love me some Live PGA drama. This is going to get spicy because Rory McIlroy is speaking today in Dubai ahead of the DP World Tour. And he said the PGA and the Live is not going to come to a compromise until Greg Norman, who's the face of the Live circuit, is no longer a public face of the new circuit. And this is the quote from McIlroy. I don't know if you've seen this yet. There's a few things I'd like to see on the Live side that needs to happen. I think Greg needs to go. I think he just needs to exit stage left. He's made his mark. But I think now is the right time to sort of say, look, you got this thing off the ground, but no one's going to talk unless there is an adult in the room that can actually try to mend fences, end quote. Basically, there needs to be an adult in the room, and it's not Greg Norman.
Oh, Greg Norman has just come out swinging, attacking everybody on the charge for Live Golf.
The head of Live, like the king guy at Live, said Greg Norman's our CEO and commission. Any suggestion that changes are being made to Greg's title or role is patently false. This is going to be good because now it's Rory. Rory's been the voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's like the leader of the pack.
Yeah, he said it's obviously been very contentious here in golf. And I've said this. The best thing in golf is to have all the best players playing together. And what's happening right now is that's not happening. So I fear for the game when that's going on. It's contentious because there's lawsuits going on and people suing people. It's very, very messy. So again, if all the stuff can be sorted out one way or the other, then you can get to the stage where there's forgiveness and people can have dialogue and come to some sort of common ground or compromise. But while all this is happening, it's very hard to do that, end quote. Again, there needs to be an adult in the room. I love this, but I hate this. Is that fair?
Yes.
Love it, but I hate it. Thank you to Jerry Kill. Aggies coach on a 3-game winning streak. He was with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On come your way at 4. Then JJ Buck's got Lobo women's basketball from Las Cruces. That starts at 5:30 this afternoon. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. A. Marie, great work.
Thank you.
JJ, have a great call down there.
Have a day.
Thanks, Adrian, for all the work you do on the TV side. It looks great. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.